Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your boy, Purple Luffy. Get ready for a very spicy deck profile featuring EB01 and OP06 with the brand new inclusions to be Mr. Tubon Clay and Ragnarok. Now, without further ado, Luffy does have a chance in this metagame, be it EB01. Like I said, with these new inclusions, it allows this deck to go fast, essentially. And a lot of other decks don't have the opportunity to ramp as quickly as this leader does, so therefore you can drop big cards on board faster than everything else in the format. With Gecko Moria being around, I don't see why Luffy is not played as often as he should be. Magellan really hampers Gecko Moria, it hampers Katakuri, it slows down Enel. Black decks have a very hard time at removal when it comes to if I want to pop Magellan. If they decide to, we all know what happens. But in the yellow matchup, this also slows down their curve from Big Mom, from the 10-drop Ace that's coming in OP07, the 9-drop Yamato. This slows down Katakuri to a crawl. It's very good. And I feel like a lot of people need to hop back on the Purple Luffy train and just dominate some of these decks in the format, because you can't do that with ease. Now, with Sakazuki also leaving the format in OP07, now's the chance. I mean, it's not that you didn't have a bad matchup. You didn't have bad matchups against Sokka beforehand, but with another prominent threat out of the way that you really don't have to contend with anymore, I think Luffy has a chance to shine. But we'll see how it goes. In any case, let's dive into this deck profile. We're going to play a bunch of games today, dive back into the deck list at the end, and then we have a double feature for this weekend, so Ace will also be coming out tomorrow. So stay tuned for that one. And then tomorrow we're heading out to Locals, and you should be getting Locals content as well for this week. So, I'll see you guys in a split second. Now, when it comes to this deck list, we are still running the ridiculous amount of 2K counters. You have the four ultis, the 4 X-Drakes. I run 2 Mist Double Finger because I want to have some little bit more space here in the list. Generally speaking, I may take out the Douglas Bullet. I might take this out to include a max out on Miss Double Finger. We may drop down on 1 Ragnarok and just go 4 copies. But currently, I'm enjoying Douglas Bullet. I think he does well. He has his ins and outs. And I feel like he does rest a lot of blockers, especially when your opponent isn't ready for this card. And in the matchup in which he really shines is Black Yellow Luffy and Gecko Moria. Considering both of those decks love to run with Sabo, this can be a, oh wow, I wasn't expecting that type of moment with Douglas Bullet. Because we drop him on board, we can rest both Sabo blockers and just go face with whatever else we have on board at the time. He does really well in that scenario. But other than that, I don't get a lot of value with him unless I am increasing the ratios or he's already on board and they don't remove him the previous turn. Therefore, you rest stuff, get the double attack. He's very threatening, essentially. But he has his uses here in this list. If you don't want him here, of course you can cut him out and go into, more Kaidos if you want to. This is just a me thing. I like this card. In any case, we do opt to run the 4 Eustace Kids, the 4 Queens. I think these are staple, these are mandatory. This card inside of inside of Purple Luffy is kind of disgusting. On Dawn 10, you can either drop him on board, play a Queen, get the Dawn back for free, draw 2 cards, and then discard a no counter card from hand, draw 2 from Queen's ability, which is really strong here. Now, with the inclusion of Mr. Tubon Clay and Ragnarok, you have many options of when you're going first or second. If you're going first as Luffy, on your second turn, you have the option to have at 3 Dawn, right? You can ramp up with your leader ability, play Bon Clay, and then swing for 6. Which is really good. You have a body on board that can go ahead and copy your opponent's power and then swing with this the following turn. Or, if you're going second, you have the ability to ramp up early, right? And then just play down Magellan, if you have Magellan in hand. Which will slow down your opponent at the same time as being a threat on board that can swing for 7 if need be with a Dawn attached. So I'm always opting to look for Mr. 2s or Magellan in the early game for my opening hand as well. This really helps in pretty much every matchup in the format because a lot of decks are just black decks or yellow decks, let's be honest. Even in the Yamato matchups, slowing their curve down where they can't drop Hody Jones when they want to is just detrimental to them, just entirely. Considering you run a ridiculous amount of 2K counters with the inclusion of, I'm not even going to butcher this guy's name, you guys know how it is, but Killer, for example. With the inclusion of him, you have an access to 4 more 2Ks, which is really good. Not that we didn't have enough as is, but more 2Ks are always better than no 2Ks, right? So with that being said, you're running 14 here. With the, or sorry, this will be another one here in a second. There we go. Now, in any case, you're running 14 2Ks. You can opt to slow down, take out Ragnarok to 1 if need be, and Bullet to go up to 16 with the inclusion of an extra 2 for Miss Doublefinger if you want to. That's up to you. I think 14 is nice, and having the option to pop Katakuri, pop Big Mom, get rid of Kid, or get rid of the other Kid. That's going to be a problem to you guys in this metagame, which is the 8 cost, and we all know how this is. So Ragnarok allows you to hit that as well, essentially. Now, with this list, I'm having a lot of fun with, but at the end of the day, there are still some decks in the format that can give him a little bit of trouble. Just a little bit of trouble. Reiju is one of those decks that can be a little bit harder to take care of when it comes to Luffy. Everything that they have generally has counter power. So if you're trying to run over certain cards or just attack their face and all that sort of thing, it's a little bit more difficult. Especially if they stack a lot of ETGs on board, 7-drop, which is a pain in the butt to deal with. But other than that, like, there's some other decks out there that give this deck a little bit of a hard time. Let's be honest, you know, to be fair. But in OP07, and OP06, and EB01 right now, I don't feel I see a lot of purple Luffys running around. And with the inclusion, again, of Bon Clay, I think this might be a good time to pick up Luffy and learn him and do very, very well before OP07, when the meta becomes prominently like NL, essentially. And speaking of bad matchups, there's another deck in the format going around called RP Law. And I think everybody is tired of seeing RP Law, even though we just got started. Luffy has really good matchups into that list, considering how many big bodies we ramp up quickly into and slap down. Getting a Magellan into Law can really slow down their curve as well, considering he minuses a Dawn already, and then he has to minus 3 more the following turn if he wants to do his leader ability. So that's 4 Dawn, which is pretty big, right? To be fair. But before we dive into some games here, let's talk about some opening hands with Purple Luffy real fast. I'm going to do this as quickly as I can. That way we can smash out a bunch of games today and have a good old time. Now, depending on the matchup, you're generally going for about the same thing. Like I said, depending on the matchup. Bon Clay, Magellan, these are kind of 2 staple cards I look for in my opening and my mulligan hand. Especially in the yellow matchup, you really need to find Magellan. It just helps you guys out. I get it, we ramp up so quickly, but just having Magellan on board in that match versus Katakuri, Enel, Yamato, this can be a savior. You might not see it now, but in matches specifically like Yamato and Katakuri, we know how this goes. In Yams, it slows down their curve from dropping Hody Jones on board, which is really, really good. On top of, we already run with a ridiculous amount of 2K counters, so essentially we can guard out the hits that we need to guard out. Double attack banish on Nami, an 8K swing from Yamato, due to Magellan. It's very, very good in that scenario. Now, Mr. 2 Bon Clay is another very, very good card from EB01 to include into this list and in your opening hand. This guy allows you to ramp up very, very quickly up to 5 Dawn after you activate your leader ability, which is really, really solid, and you can swing for 6. So with that being said, on the following turn you go up to 7 Dawn. You can activate the ability again, go up to 8. You're already on 8 curve if need be. If not, if you have Poly in hand, so another scenario, you're mulligan out for Mr. 2 Bon Clay, Poly, because after you drop this, on your following turn, you can drop the Poly, he ramps you up to 8 Dawn, and you can pop something else on board, which is really nice, like a blocker or a Ohm Holly, what have you. It does really, really well, depending on what your opening hands are going to be. So you go from A, B, then on your following turn you have access to dropping a Queen and a Kid at the same time, because you'd be at 10 Dawn, right? Which is really, really good. Or you can go aggressive with the Kaido or Douglas Bullet in that scenario. Now, there are other situations where you might not have Kid, Queen, and Kaido. maybe you'll draw into more Magellans. On Dawn 10, you double down on Magellans. Why not? Slows down yellow. You're already going to ramp higher than them in the first place. It is a very good scenario to be in most of the time. I think, ideally, you're looking for the Bon Clay, the Magellan, and the Poly in the opening hand. But overall, everyone's experience is going to be a little bit different. One other key card here, depending on your matchup, is going to be Law. Law into Katakuri and Enel, Sakazuki is key. Enel loves taking hits in the early game for some odd reason. Katakuri doesn't seem to mind either, and Sakazuki always has a lot of cards in hand. So, to be fair with you, if you have access to Law in those matchups as well, this is another card to look out for in the opening hand, because this allows you to make them pitch 2 cards randomly. So, you have that going for you as well. And some opponents, whether it's on Sim, whether it's local, they'll generally just scoop the game. I know it sounds crazy, but some people get really, really frustrated with this for some reason. I don't know why, but they forget about this guy. And as soon as it hits the board, it's like, well, dang, there goes 2 of my key pieces out of my hand. All right, you win. It happens a lot. But overall, let's dive into some games here real fast. See you guys in a split second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Coming at you guys with Purple Luffy, playing into, I assume, Film Green Uta. You know, you'd be surprised nowadays. So, yeah, Film Uta. In any case, speaking of Uta, she will be coming to the channel here soon as well. EB variations with the new cards and all that sort of thing. And I see you. You guys are asking for more Sabo content. That is also coming as well. But you're going to have to wait just a little bit, because I want to try to do at least 2 videos this weekend and try to do a double feature, which isn't something we normally do, because Sundays is like the bigger day for me when it comes to going out for locals and all that sort of thing and filming that as well. So I'm going to try to get Luffy out here today, and then tomorrow I'm going to try to get Ace out to you guys, and then go film at locals and then get locals content for you as well. I'm debating on playing either my EB variation of Yamato or Birdcage Dofi. I haven't decided which one yet. But after that, after these 2 videos with Ace and Luffy, I'm going to be showing you guys my variation of Yamato for EB01. And I want to show you guys another variation, which is a lot more explosive, from Yamato from EB01 as well. And then we're going to do either Film Uta, new variation from EB, or more Sabo. Yes, I see you guys asking for him. He'll come back. I'm going to show you my new iteration for that. But we'll go from there. In any case, let's dive back into these games, see what we can cook up here. I have so many options here. We can go ahead and just ramp up and play Douglas Bullet and pass the turn, right? We could just do that, because I want to go 5 into the Brook, but I feel like if I go 5 into Brook, just 5, she'll guard out with a, you know, counter in hand and keep the Blue No. If we go down the other route and play down Magellan here, it slows down the curve from the Luffy. It slows down from the Ace, or sorry, from the Kid, which might not be so bad. And then we can go 8k into Brook. So let's try that instead. Maybe she's just tempted to give me the Blue No here instead of guarding from hand or letting the Brook go. If we can just get the blocker out, that's totally okay. Because once Luffy comes down, you gotta assume Luffy's gonna come down with the other Uta blocker, and then she'll have 3 blockers on board, including the Blue No. And you don't want to deal with that. You can have this one, it's fine. Now, I'm gonna take a couple of these hits to face, but I'm gonna try to preserve as much life as I can here, just for the I'm invincible play. Another 1k counter here, not too bad. Unfortunately, we've seen quite a bit of Bon Clays, and I need some other pieces. So we're going to counter out this one. 4 Dawn left. So either a Nami with the ability or a Brook. Okay. Play in the Nami maybe? Ooh, didn't have anything. Love to see it. Alright, so we're at 9. This could be the opportune moment to play down Bullet. Attach a Dawn to Magellan, go 7 into Brook. Clear that. And then we'll go 5 into the Mihawk, right? I'm just trying to take the guaranteed pieces out first, so we can soften up this board a little bit. If I play down Bullet and pass turn, he's set, right? We're good. But if I do the Queen thing, I messed up. I should have played Bon Clay first. Misplays happen, it is what it is. I should have played Bon Clay first, that way it would have ramped up to another Dawn. But it's okay. And then taken the Dawn from Luffy leader, and then play down the Queen. That's what I should have did. Well, what are you gonna do? I guess this way we have another blocker on board anyway. Alright, so we're at 1 life already. A little spooky. We have a lot of counter in hands. So we might be able to get there. She's going to go 5 and then drop Luffy. We'll guard out here as well. We have the answer for that with the Ragnarok. Okay, so there's the Uta. We still have 2 blockers on board here. Another Douglas bullet. And speaking of another Douglas bullet here, this scenario is 2 Kaido, 2 bullet, 1 Ragnarok in this build. Everything else is the same. I'm tempted to take out the bullets and try the rest of the games today without bullet and to see how I feel about it, but we'll see how that goes when we get there. Let's go 6 to face here. I would have thought she would have taken that hit, to be honest. We'll go 6 with Law as well. I know that might have been a weird play. We could have went 7 with Queen. But just in case she has, what's the event called that pops 5 costs? That one. Yeah. Was that Blackout? Or Backlight? Just in case. So if we would have smacked with Queen, she would have got rid of Queen there. So I'd rather it be Law. Makes more sense to me. Go down to 0. There's a Nami with the free draw. Get yourself a new Sanji from EB01. Our hand is not looking the greatest. But now we can actually play Bullet. We can rest both of these units here on board. I understand we can't smack with Bullet just yet, but we can rest both of them and then clear the bodies. And hopefully the Queen and Kid can make me survive the following turn. There's that. And this should be dead here as well. Ain't no way you're going to counter out this. Good. So that tells me that she didn't have the counter. And or a lot of cards in hand have no counter. So possibly big bodies might be this turn. She's going 6. Gets another Luffy. Because it's either that or dropping the 0 cost event. So 1 blocker to go. We should have enough counter even if she does play I'm Invincible. There's a Luffy, another Uta. Oh, we're chilling, boys. We're chilling. Because now we get back to another Kid here on board, which is really, really strong. Essentially, we can play down Kid, hit the Douglas ability, rest the Uta, and go about our day. So we -4, we get a Dawn back from the Kid ability, which is really nice. Bullet gets double attack. 4 cards in hand. I think she has no choice. Let's go 10k to face. She either blocks this or takes both hits. And in this scenario, she does not have the counter in hand. It just makes sense, right? We know she has a Sanji at the very least. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, she would need at least 3 of those to be 2k counters. Cool. 9 Dawn left to play with. We go 7 here. Yep. And I think this is game. Like 100%, I'm pretty sure this is game here. Because before she needed 6k counter for Bullet, which she didn't have. She already guarded that hit. That told me that's the counter she had gotten from the triggers there. Queen should be able to take this home. Because now she needs 3. Come on, give it to me. You don't got it. Let's go, boys. Let's go ahead and play against one of the biggest bads in OP07. Although this is not OP07 format just yet, but Enel did get a bunch of new stuff in EB, such as Charlotte's, I'm not even going to butcher her name, but Flampy, maybe? I'm probably wrong. In any case, This card's pretty good. Allows Enel to draw 2. Take a life, draw a card from top of the deck, which is pretty good. Overall, it really helps you set up plays if you're playing purple Luffy in this scenario, and you have Law in hand. Because they get a lot of card advantage by taking life, playing this early game, drop a Law, there you go. But this time around, we opted to keep this hand just because we have a lot of bodies here on board. We can ramp up, play Page and ulti combo, and then the following turn we can drop down Magellan. So we'll minus the Dawn, get another body down. He's already at 2 life due to the fact he decided to take that and take my hit. Banish. That's silliness. I mean, we could have taken it, right? To be fair, but eh. We get a Poly here. If I decide to go Magellan here, it pushes him back to 3 Dawn, which slows down the curve entirely of Gedetsu. So he can't drop down a Gedetsu and pop a Page 1 or an ulti for the following turn, which is nice. Because if we do the ramp, he can't Gedetsu me. Because we can't swing here, he just cycles cards through. So let's hope he doesn't have one. But it's okay. It's fine. It's all good. Let's go ahead and go 7. I'm going to try to keep ulti alive with my hand here. I'll probably dump everything to protect her. Because I don't think he wants to kill the Magellan to make himself like lose 2 more Dawn. So let's just do this again. Let's do that. We'll go 5. He should guard this out. Realistically, yep. And then we'll just go 11k to face. Let me have it. Let's go, boys. This game should already be over now. That's crazy. I mean, we only have 4k counter in hand. So I guess we're taking damage to leader. They can't heal up. Because they don't have any Wanu on the field, so it can't be like a Kikinojo with a Momo. They can't do anything like that. They don't get the heal. So I think we're chilling. But it could be blockers that come down. Let's guard this. As much as I want to let it go, we have to just protect it. Okay. Alright team, here we go. We're going to dive into another game. Coming at you guys with Purple Luffy, playing into another variation of Luffy, Black-Yellow, which happens to be a very, very strong contender in the format right now. But I think Purple Luffy actually does really, really well here into this. The slowing of the Dawn that they get with Magellan is really, really good. Being able to ramp up into bigger bodies on board is very, very strong. So I mean, it's pretty good overall. I don't really see a problem here. Ooh, let's go and do the Law thing. Thank you, sir. So we rip out a Law and an Ace, which is pretty good here in the early game. In any case, we've taken out the Douglas bullets here entirely, and we just went straight into utility for more 2Ks. The second Ragnarok, just letting you guys know. Really? Okay. That was a weird play, but we'll take it. We get a queen here. You guys already know we're just gonna drop Magellan. Like, you already know it. Do we need to do leader ability here? That's what I'm contemplating on. Nah, we don't. Let's just go 5. Now, no matter what deck you're playing in this matchup, I know it sounds crazy, but you never ever want to push Luffy down to 0 life unless you're playing Yamato in that scenario, because, you know, it's a little bit easier to win with Hody Jones. But you always want to force that Luffy player to play resources down to rip their own life. Like, if you let them sit on 2, like you generally would do from like an Enel or what have you, let them play cards to force them to rip their own life. Always. So putting them at 1 here, for example, they're just going to do it next turn. You know what I mean? in this scenario, they need like a Flampe, and they need the ace combinations. They need a lot of things to just rip their own life. Let them do that for them instead of you do it. You know what I mean? There you go. So there's a big Luffy here on board. He can activate the ability again and rip that one if he wants to, which I'm totally okay with, because that just forces Sabo and Ace from trash, unless he has other cards in hand. If not, those two go back on top of his life. Sure. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's ramp up. And that's all he does. Alright, cool. You're in trouble, buddy. I cannot poly that, which does suck. Him being a 7k body means I have to actually swing over him. If we get down the kid here, we can minus a Dawn. We have the 6k leader on board, which is pretty good. Allows us to guard out a little bit better with our 2ks. So let's go ahead and do it this route instead. I can't hit with leader. We can't hit with Magellan. That does suck. But we have an 8k body on board. That'll easily allow us to get up to the 9k if he decides to do like the double scenario, you know? So he rips that life out with Luffy. That's totally okay with me. Trashes the Moria from the Luffy ability. Okay. Like I said, we know he has a Sabo and Ace in trash. We don't know what's in hand. There's another Ace. That's 2 aces, 1 Sabo in trash. Okay. We're chilling. So all he has left in trash is Ace. He's gonna Sabo things. That's fine. Gets a blocker on board. I dare you, please. Take the Ace. Come on. I believe in you. You can do it. I mean, he still does have a lot of cards in hand, though. So he should easily be able to counter out my kid. If he goes to 9k. Are we chilling? No, you got it. Alright. So he goes up to 9. 11k swing coming in at me. 7 with this guy as well. We can easily counter this one and then take the 11k. We'll take this hit as well. I'm not gonna block with Law right now, in case we can use Law just to beat in on the leader. It's probably better to guard, but I'm being a little greedy here. Let's just take the hit and be fine. It'll be alright. So we get a kid. We'll take this one too. I'm feeling it, boys. I'm feeling it. Alright. Let me cook. We got this. It's fine. So we have to actually attach a lot of Dawn here to get these swings off. Because we go up to 8. We go up to 8 Dawn next turn. And if I want a leader ability, we go up to 9. If we survive, the following turn we can drop down the kid and queen combo. Let's get Mr. 2 Bon Clay on board. Because he'll be another 8k swing. Because he can take the stats from Luffy there. Which is nice. Let's get down queen as well. Drop the Poly. The only one that can swing here is Kid. And he can swing on Ace or Luffy here on board. Alright, let's go for the Luffy here. We'll minus a Dawn, push our Luffy to 6k. He should guard this out, I'd imagine. So he does. Okay, cool. We have a lot of counter in hand. 7k counter. And 2 blockers on board. Another Sabo, sure. What does he get off this, though? Alright. So he's got more fuel in the trash for his Luffy ability, which does kind of suck. But it's okay, it's fine. We'll get there. So he's going to become a 7k, probably at the very least. Maybe. But he has 1, 2, 3. He's 4 attacks this turn. Ace, Luffy. Sure. Do you have the little one? Okay. So it's a 7k lead. 7k we can deal with. We can actually swing over that, to be fair. And now he gains 1 life back from the ace because he wasn't able to put that on board as well. So yeah, he definitely loses next turn. Guard out. I want to say this was probably like a perfect game for us. Like realistically, we did really well. Perhaps the only time I think we made a misplay was when we took the kid to attack into the Luffy. We probably should have attacked into the ace in hindsight, because this turn right here would have saved us 1 counter in hand. Perhaps, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if he has extra counter or not to guard the ace out that turn or not. But now we're chilling. There's no shot he attacks here with Sabos. Yeah, didn't think so. Alright, boys. Let's do the thing. Go 7. So that's 1, 2, 3. Goes to 9, sure. Let's go and attack this, steal his stats, which is really good. Okay. Use a leader ability. Or sorry, use not leader ability. Use kid's ability. Bro, you're taking the damage, or you're guarding out. It's that simple. 3 attacks to go. This should be free. But either way, though, like I feel like this matchup here generally favors you, man. Especially Purple Luffy. He does really, really well here. And I am not the best Purple Luffy player out there. So for all you fans of Purple Luffy, you guys see it, right? You see the sauce. Are we interested of seeing some Yamato matches? I mean, I don't see why not. Very fun leader to play. Is everywhere at locals, here on Sim as well. Purple Luffy has to deal with it. We have a ridiculous amount of counters to be able to deal with that and contend with it. I really just don't know why this leader isn't out here as much as he should be. Like, she goes 8, right? We already have the counter. We're Luffy. We always have the counter in the early game. Like what do you want me to do? Paulie's not going to get a lot of value here in this matchup, I don't believe. So, I mean, and then we have 2 more 2Ks, or sorry, yeah, 2 more 2Ks in hand to throw away. Take the life, we get the law. So we have a blocker on board if we need be. Let's go 6 to face. And you know what? We're not going to play the blocker down. We're not going to do that. We're going to play the page 1 ulti combo. Because we have 10k counter in hand, or 5k counter in hand here. The Banish Nami. Here we go. We'll guard out this as well. Like really, what's the problem? He does really well in this match. Let's rip this. Well, let's go 5 first. Go 5 first. Just in case. I shouldn't get any triggers unless he plays with cards, or plays with like Satori and Sanji and all that. Let's go 8. Nice. We have enough Dawn to play down Law here. Rip cards from hand. Onami and Dinjiro. I like the Dinjiro tech. Very, very good. Sweet. So we got 3 cards out of hand there with the Law ability. Rip 2, then he guarded out the Luffy. So essentially we get another 2k. What could that be? Perhaps an Onami off of that as well to pop our Law blocker or one of our attackers here. Oh, I like that. That's pretty saucy. Is it enough though? Goes 9. Let's guard out. Get another Law. I mean, I guess we just go 7 lead. The board that Yamato has right now is kind of irrelevant to me. There's the Sanji blocker. But we got a Dinjiro out of hand. Go 7 again. Now we can rip a life to play Queen, or we can play Law here. It's probably better to get the Queen down, but it's okay. I'd rather not rip the life just in case they have the Amaru and the Hody Jones. Because this is their 9-Don turn. And if I decided to take the life to get the Queen on board, they would have just played the Hody Jones, rested that anyway, and I'd have been at 3 life, so. With an 8k Yamato swing. Instead, we kind of cushion the impact a little bit. Just a little bit. What do you do here? Alright, so you get a Momo, which is totally okay. They heal 1. 4 cards left in hand. So my guess is either A, they had the Hody Jones, and they also thought that probably wasn't the best scenario. To be a little bit more defensive here. Rex Drake and a kid. You probably expected me to guard that, to be honest. This goes 6. Oh yeah, no. We need that. That's risky. I said no, though. We need it. Another page 1. Or another ulti, sorry. And a Queen. Love to see it. So we have the Queen if all else fails here, but I think we can get through and win the game. He's got 4 cards in hand. I'm pretty sure this is it. Because we can go 8, 8, 6, 7, 8. Okay, no, so we can't go 8, everybody. Almost, we almost could. So we'll go 9 here. Then we'll just go 7, 7. Alright, where would this deck be without the Sakazuki matchup? I couldn't avoid it. I tried to avoid it. I didn't want to do this either. But there are people out there that are just like, how does it do against Sakazuki? The same as it's always done against Sakazuki. You're favored. But with the inclusion of Bon Clay, it feels so much faster. You know what I mean? We'll see how this goes. Because they do get a bunch of new cards here in EB and OP06. Or sorry, in OP06 with Tashigi and stuff, so. And a lot of them now are actually using the stage with Marineford, which they should have been doing since the get-go, but, you know, each their own. Let's go ahead and put 2 bodies down on board here. The thing is, with this matchup, I always feel like you're looking for this combo every single time into a Sakazuki is Page and Ulti. Obviously, you're not going to find it every time with your mulligan in your opening hand, but it's something you're really looking for. Because it's 2 bodies on board that it's a little bit harder for them to remove both in the early game. We'll guard out here. So there should be a Hound Blaze, I'd imagine. Or maybe they don't have it and they're looking for it. Right? I mean, they've already minused it with the stage and leader. Yeah, so it's going to be a Hound Blaze. Oh, they didn't find it. See the T-Bone, unless that's in hand. Okay, fair. Go 6. We'll take this hit. Get another ulti. We could ramp here. Play down Pauly. No, we can't do that. We can't do that. That's bad. Don't do that. I need to be at 6 on ramp and then play Pauly to pop the Shishigi, but yeah. We're just going to go face. I don't care about the low 2Ks that he has on board here. You shouldn't either. In any circumstance, just go face. Nice. Now we can bait out with Kid. I'm not looking for Kid to stick on board or do anything amazing. I'm looking for him to spend resources to pop this. Which he'll feel obligated to, because it's Kid, you know? Which I'm totally okay with. Because we're at 6. We go up to 8. With leader ability, we go up to 9 with Kaido if we want to for the following turn. Okay. Sure. Do we let this go? Nah, we guard out. In hindsight, it could have been better just to guard with Kid, but I don't know if he's baiting me or he has the removal. Okay, so he had the removal. He's gonna remove them both. Oh, you're so cool, man. That's crazy. Who would have saw that coming? Alright. If we do the thing here with the Pauly, we can get rid of the Hina, get another body on board. Which, being a 5, is a little bit harder for him to deal with without having specific cards, so... We'll go 6 here. Should be a damage. Nice. Then Pauly can swing for 7, and Kaido can swing for 10 next turn, and I can swing for 5. If he sticks. And if he doesn't get a blocker here, we're golden. Other than Rebecca. You can have Rebecca, that's totally fine. Just no Sabo. Okay. Threw that away for leader ability. 6 left in hand. I think we're chilling, boys. I think we're chilling. Because he's looking for something. Yeah, sure. We can guard out. Actually, let's take this hit. Ooh. 3-0 cost events, huh? What do you do in this scenario? Obviously, we keep this. Uh-huh. So there's Sabo. Three Dawn left to play with. He can go 5 with Tashigi if he wants to here. Because I'm at 4. Okay, so he didn't have the removal, which is nice. Which now puts him in a very, very bad situation. Because we can go 7 with Pauly by attaching Dawn. We can go 6 with Luffy, and then 10 with Kaido. He did get a 2k counter in hand. Yep. How about 6 again? What do you do here? Gives me another 2k. So he still has a Suru in hand. We'll pop the brand new. Should be guaranteed damage unless he blocks with Sabo here. Wow, you're brave. Absolutely. I mean, he doesn't know my hand here, but I mean, he needs a lot of removal pieces to pop both of these. He only has 5 cards in hand. So an Ice Age gets rid of Pauly. He still needs an Ice Age for the Kaido. And then a Hina. And then he could Lucci or play the new event that he's gotten. He needs a lot of pieces here. Get a Magellan. That's really good, considering we can use him to throw away for the 0 cost event. I just need one of them to survive. Just one. And it's likely that the Kaido will. He throws away Moria for leader ability. Gets another Tashigi. So he's looking for removal pieces now. Gets another T-Bone. 2k counter. Which is kind of irrelevant right now to pop anything because it's 5. So there's the Hina. Okay. He can stage me, which will push me to -6 cost. I think this game's over. Yeah, sweet. We got there, boys. Let's go. You didn't have enough, yeah. Houndblaze, that's it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll probably play one more game after this one, and then we'll dive back into the deck list here. We're playing into another Yamato match, which is unfortunate, but again, as per Luffy, you got the counter, boys. This shouldn't be a match that you guys should really be worried about. We can actually ramp up here, go into Queen and or Magellan here. Let's go 5 to lead. You're actually going to guard this hit? Oh, okay, cool. You take it. I was about to say. Yeah, might as well. I'm not really worried about the next hit either because we have the 2k counters. So, if they want to Nami banish me, go for it. Five. Huh. Never ever do this, by the way, as Yamato. Never ever do this. Your priorities is getting that first 2 damage in no matter what. Rip the life, go to 7. We can do another Magellan here. I'm feeling safe with the amount of 2k counters that we have, so we'll probably just do that. Let's go 6. I understand they played Cracker on board. I do not care about Cracker, guys. I just don't. Nice. Okay, so they were smart enough to take the hit, which pushes them down to 2. But considering the fact that we're about to double Magellan you don't have the Hody Jones on curve. I'm sorry. Like, they're already way behind now. So they go to 5. Cracker can actually swing in for 7k with double attack if he wants to. Goes 8. One of these we have to take. I'm tempted to just take 1 hit at the very least. Because I cannot guard both, so. Yeah, it's fine. Because he's going to swing for 8 as well with Yamato. I mean, we have the counter for either or. But do we care, though? Is it worth throwing away counter here? Realistically, I don't think it is. Like, I don't think it is. It's 1 life. We get a Kaido off the trigger. We have enough counter in hand to deal with whatever he decides to play down next turn. Even if it's a Hody Jones. Because the leader will swing for 5, and the Hody will swing for, I guess, 8 in that scenario. So we need to kill the Cracker here at the very least. Go 7 the lead. What do you do? Gives me that. That's totally okay with me. Let's kill this. Hopefully. Nice. Okay, so we can play Queen here. Although it might be a little bit irrelevant, assuming that Hody Jones comes down. Which is okay, because we get to draw 2. Kikinojo, yeah, no. Okay. Now let's play Queen. We'll -1 Dawn, draw 2 cards. We can discard the 7-drop kid. And now we're chilling. Because with Hody, he rests the Queen, he goes 5 with leader, goes 6 with Kikinojo, goes 10 with Hody Jones with the leader ability, is my guess. And we have enough counter for days, so there's just no way. Now, what would be really cool here is if they had Straw Sword. You know what I mean? That would have been awesome. I rarely see that. We'll go 6. Counter out, of course. Like, what do you do here? The amount of Magellans that we played here really just stopped this game. And this is yellow, so it'd be what it be. And GG, buddy. Well played. Of course, we're going to play it safe. Alright, team, here we go. We're going to dive into the last game of the day. Come at you guys at Purple Luffy, playing into another Enel, in which, our hand's pretty cracked, not going to lie to you. Unfortunately for him, considering he is yellow, I'm probably just going to go ahead and spam down Magellans. All of them. Just one after the other, and see what he's going to do about it. Go 6. We definitely don't take this. Thank you. Go up to 4, ramp up, take the life, slam him down, and we'll play by. We'll play it by this. Yep. Look at that, already at 2 Dawn. That's crazy. Sure. I love how he stacked that life and decided to take it anyway. That's crazy. It probably was like a Kikinojo if I had to guess. Yep. The worst thing about that, if that was a Kikinojo he stacked on life, there's no reason for him to put it there, because I'm not at 3 life, so I wouldn't have triggered anyway. Unless I decided to rip one, which I did. Yep. Pushing back down to 3 again. And then we go 6. 6, and then we'll pass it up. I almost didn't attack with Magellan. That would have been crazy. Cool. So we're still at 1 life already. We have 2 Magellans on board. Another one that we can play down potentially from hand. He heals 1. Yep. Putting the Hiyori to bottom of life, which is a little weird. Guard out here. Why didn't he swing with Kikinojo? I guess because we're not at 3, so it won't heal him 1. It won't benefit, is my guess. 'Cause I'm just gonna run into it anyway, if that was the point, or if that was the play. Let's play another one. It's interesting though, because as much as we complain about yellow decks, be it a lot of people don't like Katakuri, for example, and a lot of us don't like Enel. If you don't like Enel now, you're not going to like him in OP07. If you think he's overpowered, he's going to be so much stronger then. I'm trying to tell you, Purple Luffy is going to body a lot of yellow decks in the format. If your locals are going to be full of Katakuris and Enel still in OP07, Luffy is your guy. Just to let you know, he is the guy. Because just slapping down a couple Magellans on board, good luck. And it's really that simple. So he goes 8k here. I'm sorry, I don't know what that weird animal noise is outside. I apologize if y'all can hear it. 8k to Magellan. I guess we let this go so he can lose 2 more Dawn. Sure, buddy? No problem. We'll guard out this one. And then we should be chilling. Nice. We can ramp up. We can play Pauly down to pop the Kikinojo on board. It's probably the better play. Do that. I don't want to rip a life here, otherwise he just starts healing with Kikinojo. So we'll just go 6. Get cards out of hand. This is a weird play that we have to do. We either go 8 or we just go 7. Yep. I'll do it again. How many cards is that? 4? I think that was 3 or 4. I lost count. It's fine. He's still at 6 Dawn on turn 6. Another Kikinojo hits the board. Your boy's playing some, like, interesting Wanu package. I like it, but I do think the Magellan really slows him down entirely. Sure, because we win next turn. The reason why we do that is because we have the Kaido to pop the blocker on board. Or we can take it slow, but I'm not going to do that. I'd rather just play Kaido, pop blocker, and then GG at this point. I mean, we could pop the Kikyo as well, but this is the play, boys. We go 6 here. Is it worth it? No, we'll pass it out, we'll pass. There's no way that we attack here with Kaido and let him do his Enel stuff to heal life or whatever. It's not happening. So now he's playing way behind on 4 Dawn on turn 7. And he did that to himself by having to kill the Magellans. Sure. No problem. We'll guard out though. We get a Law and a Kid. We're at 7. I really don't think we need to. I think we could just rip the last life from him, or we can kill the Kikinojo first, and then pass turn, or play down Law Blocker. Playing down Law Blocker at least gives me an option to protect the Kaido, unless he has another Amaru. Oh wow, okay. 7. We have to go one more. Okay. So now he needs Amaru to rest the Law, and then he can pop the Kaido. Doesn't have it. Your man's mad, bro. He's got to be mad by now. There ain't no way. 2 cards in hand. This should be game. Unless somehow, some way he gets a 0 cost. Nice. Do we need to play this, though? No, we don't really need to play that. We'll take the life. Ooh. Let's go, boys. We can discard the Kid here. He's the only thing that doesn't have any counter power. I am, sorry not sorry in this scenario. I mean, technically he could bounce Katakuri at the top of his life. Okay, he removes Queen. Truthfully, the play should have possibly been just to put the Katakuri on life with Katakuri's effect. What the heck is going on here? That was weird. There we go. And good game, buddy. Because that would at least let him live this turn. Welcome into the end of the video, everybody. I appreciate everyone who decided to stick around. It was a long one, another hour or so, give or take, in which we sat here, we played a bunch of games with Purple Luffy, in which this is going to be a very, very strong leader for those who are interested in getting into One Piece in OP07, even right now in EB01. Very strong leader with the inclusion of Mr. Tubon Clay. This allows all purple decks to ramp up insanely fast, let alone you have access to Ragnarok that allows us to pop big bodies on your opponent's side of the field, whether it's the 8-drop Kid, a Katakuri, 7-cost Nels. You can do pop everything here that's relevant with 8 or less, which is really, really strong. And then on top of that, with this new card here, that also makes an appearance with your boy Crocodile. If those of you guys are interested in a list like this, Crocodile also utilizes this card very, very well. You know, being purple, the theme, ramp it up, playing big bodies on board. It's a lot of fun. But in any case, with Purple Luffy here, we decided to go with this build here. We got rid of the bullets. We up on the Gatling gun here. Or Jet Gatling, sorry, the 0-cost event. Because we do run with a lot of duds, be it the Kids, the Kaidos. Sometimes we don't need the Paulies or the 7-drops here. So, you know, having the 0-cost event, let alone off trigger and in the hand, is pretty good. Now, this card is situational. I love this one. I think it's really, really good, especially in all purple decks. Like I said, allows us to get a bunch of removal, which is nice. Something that we don't really have access to other than popping cards with our like King, Kaido, and some of the other events such as like Brachio Bomber. So having access to the brand new card from EB01 Ragnarok really helps us out a lot. And again, this slows down a lot of decks out there, especially when they're not ready for it. And it gives you ramp off trigger, so there's that. But overall, this has been my new build for EB01 when it comes to Purple Luffy OP06. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Remember to smash that like button so we get these videos floating around. And don't worry, Ace is coming tomorrow. I will catch you guys at locals and or in the next video. Stay safe out there. I'll see y'all later.